The Totalitarian Two-Step by Dennis C. Jansen, as read by Bonnie Jansen, Denver, Colorado. Introduction. I would rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. Dr. Wayne Dyer. I quit drinking alcohol and chewing tobacco 5 years ago after abusing my mind and body with their usage for over 20 years. Having much more time to think and contemplate life with an unobscured mind. I read a self-help book that positively changed my life. The book was called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. The fable tells the astonishing story of an overworked, hard-living attorney made to confront the spiritual crisis of his out-of-balance life and the ensuing knowledge that he gains on a life-changing journey that empowers him to create a life of passion, purpose, and inner peace. My life was certainly out of balance. I was stressed, overweight, angry, tobacco spitting, and a part-time alcoholic who had no meaningful relationships, was running my business into the ground, and was on a slippery slope heading to the edge of a cliff. At about the same time, I discovered Dr. Wayne Dyer and started studying his teachings. All of a sudden, positive things began to appear in my life. My relationships improved, and new positive people entered my life. It was like a chain reaction of present-day heroes came into my life. These include Buckminster Fuller, Robert Kiyosaki, Dr. Ron Paul, Deepak Chopra, Mike Maloney, James Rickards, and many more. I began to open my mind and realized that no one knows enough to be a pessimist, and to be open-minded and attached to nothing. During my path to enlightenment, I studied the Vietnam conflict. My perspective changed concerning American exceptionalism, and in many ways made me come to terms that the U.S. never was great. About this time, a client of mine asked if he could send me a short video regarding 9/11. I received and watched the presentation and began to question what we had been told regarding September 11, 2001, those terrorist attacks. After thoroughly studying the incident, I concluded that it was a false flag attack, most likely orchestrated by the United States of Israel, or USI. To say that I went down the rabbit hole would be an understatement. I began to question everything. Being an introvert allowed me to research and learn the United States' accurate history, which I determined was not what I was taught in schools. This brought on the sad reality that what I thought for many years had not been correct, and in many ways, I felt cheated by a system that gave me a sense of superiority over the less educated common folk. I realized that I did not know shit, was arrogant, and looked down upon those who knew less, when in reality, they were better off not learning the fraudulent information that I had acquired. At this time, it was as if I called a timeout during a basketball game. I was the coach of my life, and I determined that I needed to learn the fundamentals of true history and hard money Austrian economics from the beginning. This led me to conclude that I was doing a disservice to my homeland and myself by refusing to be critical where criticism is proper. What I determined is outlined in this book. I would encourage the fact-checkers to validate my sources, which are accurately cited. For those interested in learning more on a subject of interest, please do additional research on your own and contact me with any questions or concerns at jansendennis@gmail.com. Happy reading, and I hope that you enjoy it. Dennis C. Jansen.